Yeah, Matt, I think one of the biggest misconceptions with the drivers, the question I get a lot of is about fuel surcharge. And the guys just don't even understand. They know to ask about fuel surcharge, but I think a lot of drivers just don't understand how it works and what it actually even means. So what I want to do on this episode, I just want to break it down really simple and explain it the best that we can without getting too deep into the woods. So sounds good, Matt. Let's just get right into it.
First and foremost, I just want to say how far we've come. First, a podcast, and then all of a sudden you spend one weekend away with OJ in a hotel, and now I have a mic, and now we're on video, and God knows where this show goes from here, but we're on the up and up, folks. Yeah.
Up and up. And I think the moral
Yeah.
of the lesson is by MPG spending a week in a motel in Boucherville, Quebec is it's life changing.
Life changing. Sometimes you drop your berries, but
I'm
we,
never
we
going to
move
live
on.
down those
No?
berries. Anyhow,
Yeah.
let's get to fuel surcharge, MPG. You need to think of fuel surcharge. FSC is the short term for it as a financial shock absorber for trucking companies. Okay. So basically, diesel prices shoot up and down like a roller coaster. We've seen that happen since March. Okay.
Yep.
A fuel surcharge is an extra fee added to the base cost of moving the freight. So what it does is it's going to protect the trucking companies from losing money when fuel gets expensive while ensuring shippers don't get permanently overcharged if prices drop. Because if the prices come down and the trucking companies are still charging that higher fuel rate, well, then the shippers are going to say, well, no, we're charging too much. Fuel's not that much. So what we're going to do now, Matt, we're going to break this down, right, in a step-by-step breakdown of how FSC works for the driver, the owner operator, the lease operator.
Yep, absolutely. And there are three components to this, and we'll start with number one. So essentially, to break in a little bit, to calculate a fuel surcharge, carriers and shippers agree on three basic numbers. Okay. Number one, the base fuel price, aka the PEG. This is a baseline price of diesel that the trucking company already factored into their standard shipping rate. For example, $1.20 per liter or $2.50 per gallon. Okay.
We're using 250 to keep the number simple. We know that fuel diesel is not 250 a gallon, so please don't write in and say, "What are you guys talking about 250?" We understand, but we're using
Yeah.
it because it's easy math. Okay,
Yeah. And if you can find somewhere for 250 a gallon,
buy it
buy the
up,
drop, buy the drops, whatever you can do.
all
Yeah.
of it, all of it.
I don't care what you got to do, what container you put it in,
Exactly.
make sure you got it. So,
Put it in your
um,
shoes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Simple, 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 simple. Number two would be the current fuel price. Okay. So the actual average price of diesel right now, usually taken from an official weekly government index. Okay. So in Canada, we use the FCA, which stands for the Freight Carriers Association of Canada. And you can go online and find this. This can be found at fcafuel.org. So go there, take a look, and that'll kind of help you with your day to day, just to kind of plan, because like we always talk about, it's the long game. So take a look at that, plan ahead, save yourself, and it'll help you be more efficient on the road. Number three, we're going to look at the truck's fuel economy. So it's an agreed upon average of how many miles or kilometers a truck gets per unit of fuel, and that's typically around 6.5 miles per gallon.
I want to point out two very important things. These numbers are not just Monday morning throwing them at a dartboard and say, hey, let's go with that number. These numbers come from an official source, the FCA, Freight Carriers Association of Canada, and it's based on the agreed upon price of in this example 6.5 miles to the gallon. I think a lot of the misconception is, oh, these trucking companies, they just figure out numbers by throwing darts, and they just Monday morning they say, oh, this is what it's going to be. It's actually not. It's a formula that's regulated. So it's something that is taken very seriously by the carriers and by the shippers as well. This is discussed every week right across North America. So it's not random numbers. There's actually a calculation behind the facts that keep this thing accurate and keep it going from week to week as fuel prices go up and down. I think that's really important to get across to the drivers, that there's reasons behind all of this. It's not just oh, today we're doing this. So this is how it works in the real life of a driver. Okay. So imagine a shipper hires a truck to haul freights for 1,000-mile trip. Okay. The baseline, the carrier standard rate covers the fuel up to $2.50 a gallon. So when it's agreed upon between carrier A and shipper B, fuel's at 250 a gallon, and they negotiate a price. Okay. The reality is diesel price then spikes and fuel jumps to 350 a gallon. So now we have a gap of fuel of $1 a gallon. We went from 250 up to 350. This is where the equation with 6.5 miles to the gallon comes in. If the truck gets 6.5 miles to the gallon, it will need 166 gallons of diesel for that 1,000-mile trip. Okay, because of the $1 spike of the price, that trip now costs the trucking company an extra $166 in fuel. The result: the shipper pays the standard base rate that we negotiated when the price was at 250, plus a $166 fuel surcharge to cover the gap. The gap is fuel going from 250 to 350. That right there is your fuel surcharge. It covers the gap. Okay. Simple.
Exactly.
Actually, 3 lines explains fuel surcharge right there. Next up.
Sorry, it was so hard not to interject. I just thought of one more container that we could probably put that fuel in case they find it for $2.50 a gallon. It's really hard not to interject to you while you're doing that.
Because your OCD kicks in. Yes, yeah, I know.
100%. Everything in between. And I took a lot of flack for this, but you remember our cute little slushy date that we had?
Yes.
So if you collect those along the way, and just put them in the back of your truck,
yeah,
and still to this day, I'll say mine was prettier than yours.
Mine tasted better though.
I got it.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll be in the middle. All right, we'll be in the middle. But yeah, if you guys collect those over, you get the large ones. It's only an extra 50 cents or something like that. It's another great avenue where you can save on fuel. Yeah.
It's like back in the day running moonshine in the back of your truck. Instead of whiskey bottles, you're gonna have little bottles of fuel. And as you go down the road, you just keep pouring them in your tank. That's a very efficient way, Matt. Well, way to go.
This podcast will bring you anywhere, give you any idea. We're just bringing it to the modern day.
Absolutely. We just fake it till you make it. MPG, yeah. Fake it till you make it.
All day, every day. So, but carrying on here, why do it this way? So first and foremost, without a fuel surcharge, trucking companies would constantly have to rewrite their base contracts every time the oil market fluctuated. And instead, the base shipping rate stays the exact same. So, and the fuel surcharge automatically goes up and down every week based on the pumps. And if the fuel price drops all the way back down to the baseline, the surcharge simply drops to 0.
That's it. Again, 4 sentences covers fuel surcharge. Now, Matt, we're going to wrap this up. This is a quick episode because we want to keep it really simple. Fuel cap is something totally different than fuel surcharge, and the two get confused over and over and over. So we're going to take a couple of seconds here to explain what a fuel cap is, and then we'll wrap it all up the only way MPG and I can do it. Okay, fuel cap is when a trucking company offers the owner-operators a reduced cost at the pumps. Let's just say the pump price is $2 a liter. The trucking company will offer a fuel cap of $1 a liter. The company then pays the $1 of the fuel surcharge, of the fuel purchase. Sorry. So it's $2 at the truck stop. Company says you only have to pay $1 of that. But somebody's paying that other dollar, and it's going to be the company. Okay? These fuel caps always look really attractive at first glance because drivers look at it and they're like, well, fuel's at $2 and I only have to pay $1. This is great. But drivers, you need to pay attention to the entire compensation package because in most companies, trucking companies will recoup the cost of paying that portion of the fuel, and it's done in different ways: trailer rental, insurance, plates, all kinds of different charges are thrown in. Some of them will even charge a percentage of your revenue as insurance. And if you start doing the math and you do some homework, they are actually overcharging your insurance, but they're offering you that fuel cap. So it's very, very important that you look at the entire package to make sure that all aspects are benefiting the owner operator. You've got to do the math. Being offered a fuel cap, it's not always the best option. It always looks good, but what you want to do is make sure what benefits the owner operator in the end. So look at the entire package. Don't get sucked into, oh, I can pay $1 worth of fuel. Also, work for a company that is sharing that fuel surcharge amount with you on a regular basis. Some companies do it monthly, some do it semi-monthly, some do it weekly. But get an agreement that, okay, when am I going to know when this fuel surcharge is announced? Is it on the 15th? Is it on the 20th? Make sure you know that and then look for it. And if the companies don't send it out to you, call in and say, hey, what's my fuel surcharge for the next pay period? You need to know what you're running for. Now, all of this that we've just explained in the last 10 and a half minutes, head over to talkingtruck.ca. On Insights, you will find this entire breakdown of fuel surcharge is the first clip. Go into the website, Insights, you'll see how fuel surcharge works. Click on that, and this entire breakdown is right there very simply. You can actually screenshot it, save it to your phone. So if you ever have a question about fuel surcharge today, down the road, a year from now, you have it there, and you can say, oh, I'm going to go back to that article. It's all right there. Hopefully we've helped some guys. MPG?
Absolutely. And one closing remark, remember to keep your cruise control on, your slushies cold, and the stereo up.
How long this week did you work on that tagline?
Honestly,
Seriously.
the last 2 minutes you've been talking, I was like, I gotta think of something smart here to close it all out. So I'm quick and witty. I'm the analytical guy. Remember that. You're the experienced
Now,
one. I'm the numbers
okay, I
guy.
just want to ask you. You said you had to come up with something smart. Was that it?
That's the best I could come up with on short notice. Yes. Yeah.
Fuel surcharge explained in under 15 minutes. This is Talking Truck.